Okay, the doggies have left the building, and my goal is to finish. This is how much we have so far. Jump, jump, jump. Where I was before, I am just adding more to the bottom part, and then I won't have enough yarn left for the top. I just know that I won't. But because I will be redoing the hip part of these pants, I'll probably get I'll get way more. I'll get some yarn from here, and then I can continue it. But this phone is charging, and it's at 4%. But I am going to be watching we are going to be watching the cops have no idea the killer is still in the at the crime scene. So I'm gonna watch that. I'm really excited to watch that. Put it right here. These officers have just arrived at the home of Robert and Jennifer Tower after receiving a horrifying call from a neighbor. Oh, there's a whole bunch of blood outside. We need an ambulance now. Turn it up high. The home of Robert and Jennifer Tower after receiving a horrifying call from a neighbor. Oh, there's a whole bunch of blood outside. We need an ambulance now. Oh, shit. Inside the house, they discover the bodies of the couple in the living room. But one person is missing, their son, Dima. This is particularly concerning given what police find at the scene. There's a very large amount of blood. In the dead of night, someone has carried out a savage and prolonged attack, leaving behind 2 dead adults and 1 missing teen. What followed would be a high-speed pursuit, an 8-hour manhunt, and a search for a truth darker than anyone could have imagined. Hey, Northport Police! You! This is the Northport Police Department! You're under arrest! Come out now! Shortly before midnight on August 31st, 2023, officers received a chilling 911 call. The resident of a house in Northport, Florida, reported hearing screams and someone violently banging on her door. When she opened the door, however, no one was there, only a smear of blood on the ground. Oh, there's a whole bunch of blood outside. We need an ambulance now. Someone's bleeding somewhere. Baby, there's blood out there. Yes, there's blood on my front door. Okay, the brightness is so low because the phone is dying. I'm gonna put it all the way up. Okay. I need blood on the front door. Okay. I need you to lock the door and stay in the house. It's locked. It's locked. Officers are quick to the scene. They find trails of blood on the pavement leading to the property next door. 312 Northport, just signal 14. I have a lengthy blood trail going to several houses.
Someone else will love them on Vinted. Just snap a pic, list your item. Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping. And with 0 selling fees, you keep every dollar. Sell what you don't wear.
I'm continuing to search, but there's a very large amount of blood throughout.
In the front doorway of the home, investigators see 2 bodies lying face down in pools of blood near that front door. Unfortunately, it is immediately clear to the investigators that nothing can be done for them. Officers are quick to notice the brutality of the scene. This was no ordinary attack. Both victims have stab wounds to virtually every part of their body, with the woman having more puncture wounds to her throat. As investigators move through the home, they find blood in almost every room, creating a crimson trail to the front door. Officers quickly establish that this home belongs to 49-year-old Jennifer and 51-year-old Robbie Tower, a couple who spent their lives devoted to missionary work. Their work had taken them around the world, serving others, but now their bodies lay cold. The medical examiner determined that the couple had been stabbed more than 140 times, with Jennifer being punctured in the throat. The attack was frenzied and vicious, leading investigators to believe that it was personal. Whoever attacked the couple held great malice in their heart. As for the weapon, the attacker had used the couple's own kitchen knives, which tells investigators the crime was perhaps spontaneous. The question now was who? By talking to neighbors, police learned the Towers have an adopted son, 21-year-old Dima James Tower, and Dima is nowhere to be found. Given the violence that unfolded here, there is every chance that Dima is injured and in need of help. Now, the officer's priority is to find the young man. The search would begin for Dima, but not in the way the cops expected. As they make their way through the property, they find Dima at his car, and he is covered in blood. When investigators approached him, he hurriedly throws items into the trunk of his car despite the orders to freeze. Dima is somehow quicker than the authorities and is able to drive away.
Hey, Northport Police! You!
Acting fast, officers hop into their cars and begin a high-speed pursuit. Dima's reaction has confirmed to them the unthinkable, and it quickly becomes apparent that it wasn't an intruder who caused the scene they had just witnessed. It was Dima. Up until now, the Towers had seemed to live an idyllic life. What would cause a young man to snap and kill his own parents? His quick flight also leads officers to another question. Where is he headed next, and who are his next targets?
It was fucking clicking with me, like, I see him when I roll up, he's pulling the trunk, and it's like, did he put her in the trunk, you know? Yeah.
As word of the chase spreads, more officers join the search. They're able to tail Dima's car, and he takes them on a wild drive down I-75. At several points, investigators give Dima the chance to pull over and end everything, but he declines. Just as they think they're close, he pulls away again, putting every driver and passenger he passes at risk. As the night wears on, investigators are hoping Dima will make a mistake, and he eventually does. Dima pulls his car to the side of the road, and police think that it's their lucky break, but Dima has other plans. Just as officers reach the car, he takes off running into the woods. The Northport Police Department now employ every unit at their disposal, and soon canine units are also at the
Dima's gonna
scene,
be running
followed
now?
by a drone operator. Despite the highly advanced units at their disposal, the Northport Police Department are failing to make any headway in capturing Dima. Officers at the scene look through Dima's car but fail to uncover anything of note in the trunk. With very few clues to work with, investigators realize they are racing against time to capture Dima before he strikes again. The question on every officer's mind is, can they outsmart him before tragedy strikes? Investigators will now send Dima's car for processing, where they hope their crime scene technicians can uncover more clues and a possible motive. Just as things seem hopeless, a call comes in. Officers in Venice Beach have picked up a young man covered in blood at a Shell gas station. Northport police race to the Venice Beach police station and breathe a sigh of relief as they realize Dima Tower has finally been apprehended. At this moment, investigators do not doubt that Dima is the one who attacked his adopted parents, and they are keen to interview him formally. After following the processing procedures, Northport detectives finally get a chance to sit down face to face with Dima. By all accounts, Dima was a normal young man. He had attended school, he now had a job, and was living semi-independently. What would cause the young man to snap and annihilate his family? Investigators know they need to dig deep into his past to find the answers. The officers conducting the interview choose to start with a light approach. They want to make Dima feel comfortable enough to open up to them so he can finally reveal his motive. But from the outset,
Yes. And after this, instead of steam block it, I'm just going to wash it. Throw it in the
Dima
washer.
is combative.
And the dryer.
It's alright to talk about it.
I'm not the one to talk about it.
No.
I'm not the type of young man that will talk about it.
You what? I'm sorry.
I'm not the type of young man that will talk about it.
No. You don't want to give your side of the story.
It was wrong, that's it.
Eventually, investigators are able to get Dima to open up more and speak about what led up to the tragic event. Dima was born in the Ukraine in September 2001. When he was still very young, his mother passed away from an unspecified illness. Dima doesn't even know how old he was when his mother died.
You're just a bunch of Americans. You will not understand.
Well, try to help me understand. I know you're from the Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
And I know that. Do you have family over there?
Is
still?
it called the Ukraine or is it you from
there.
Ukraine?
It was.
And I know the war is real devastating over there.
Maybe.
Did you lose family over there? Do you ever talk to them?
Why? Like, why does it matter?
Just making conversation, that's it. Just want to see if talking might be able to help you. At least for a little bit.
How is it going to help me?
How?
Yeah, Dima,
Following his mother's death, Dima first lived with his brother, but this didn't work out. So he was sent to his uncle's. But again, this didn't work out due to his behavior. And there were no other family members left to take care of him. Dima was now an orphan who entered the foster care system.
And this
Robbie
is how
and
much
Jennifer
we have
first
left
met
on
Dima
that.
in 2013
So
on a
now
missionary
what I'm
trip
going
to the
to
Ukraine.
do is
The
I
couple
am
devoted their
going
lives to
to
helping
take
others
out
and regularly traveled around the world
the
to make
pants
a
and really
difference.
do what I
So
want to
when
do
the
because
Ukrainian
that's
government
way
put
too
out a
long.
call for help, they answered.
It's a
The
little
2014
wasteful.
invasion of the Crimea sent the government into a frenzy, and they wanted the country's orphans to be adopted to protect them. According to friends and family, Robbie and Jennifer were overjoyed at the possibility of adoption as they began struggling to conceive. As soon as Dima arrived in the U.S., the Towers obtained U.S. citizenship for him and enrolled him in school. But it wasn't all
so
smooth
quick, huh?
sailing.
America knows how to make things go quick when they want it their way.
Too fond of the American education system. This began to cause some friction within the family, and the cracks began to show.
Did you go to Northport High?
Yeah, I dropped out.
Oh, you dropped out. What grade did you drop out at? 10.
10.
Did you get in trouble there or anything?
No. This shit that they try to teach you in high school is just unacceptable, so I dropped out. Like, you said you open your eyes a little. Well, do you know what the stuff they teach in high schools?
Yeah, they do. And
there you go.
It's pretty atrocious.
What?
With background information now gained, officers know they need to get Dima to speak more about his relationship with his adoptive parents. Still, Dima is unlike any other young criminal they've dealt with before. He is combative and tells officers he doesn't see any point to what they're asking.
It's either your side of the story or we just go with what the scene says. But I think that there's a lot more to it.
There is.
So why don't you just try to see if we can understand what.
But what does it get us?
I don't know what it's gonna get us.
It's kind of, it's hard to explain because you sit there and you think you understand me, but I don't think you do.
Well,
and I'm not saying this because I want you to understand me. I'm saying this because most people I talk to, they don't understand shit.
what you're dealing with, man, like where you're
I'm dealing with a lot. It's probably too much to explain this one.
Yeah, I promise you, I got nothing but time.
Yeah, right, me too.
And I'm willing to hear, you talk about it. I want to hear what you're going through. I want to hear what led up to last night. Why it led up to last night. What's going through your head? Why are you feeling the way you're feeling? Things that have happened to you that made you feel that way.
Realizing they aren't going to get anywhere with this, officers now start to ask Dima harder questions. They ask perhaps whether there was an argument the night before, or if something had made him angry. To them, he looks like a normal kid, and they want to know how he was capable of such a horrific act.
So what happened last night that made you want to do something? Help me understand what happened last night.
Rage.
You said rage.
What? Rage has to come from somewhere. There has to be some reason. It's a lot of rage to keep bottled up.
Right?
Did your parents push you into the rage?
We weren't really like family anymore.
They weren't family anymore?
Yeah,
Did they change?
We've been through so much shit.
Yeah.
We've been arguing.
I'm gonna have to change this. I'm gonna change it.
About what?
I'm gonna this is
Family issues.
Okay.
Dima states openly that the family was having issues, but refuses to go any deeper into what those issues are. The detectives in the room are slowly beginning to realize what type of person they're dealing with. A cunning and calculated young man. Robbie and Jennifer had given Dima everything. His own bathroom, his own car, a bank card. He was set up well for the rest of his life thanks to his parents' real estate business. So why was he willing to throw it all away in the most brutal fashion? As investigators peel back the layers, the truth becomes apparent.
I'm pretty sure you know that most Americans have been brainwashed and they don't act like that. And police knows that better than anyone else. Probably.
I've talked to hundreds of people, but every person's different, right? Isn't that what you just said?
Yeah, but at the same time, really not. Because you come to countries like this and the government's trying to brainwash you. So.
But you're different.
Because I'm from somewhere else.
Okay, so give me the opportunity to talk to you and find out, like, what you feel about
this
everything.
much yarn was in the pants just over here. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
That's treason.
Can you believe it? They're gonna come out so sexy in my pants. I knew when I was young, I was like, I'm gonna have to retake these things. And I tried to love them. I tried to be like, these are so cute. No.
Amazing.
I need booty cheeks exposed.
Affordable. You got that right.
I need booty cheek exposed eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. But if I take off my jacket, then I'll get a little cold. So I'm not doing that. I'd rather be warm.
Did you say that to your parents that you were going to go back to Ukraine, and did they put up a fight with you or something?
No, it's not that.
No.
Personally, I want to go back to Ukraine because I'm sick of that.
America.
This country. Put enough filters.
Yeah. I hear you.
You never came here, right? Should have stayed in Ukraine.
You should have stayed in Ukraine.
Yeah. This country is a shithole.
So what don't you like about this country?
Every American asks me that. Huh? You blind?
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, you tell them.
Well, probably because I was born here, so.
So you shouldn't be blind.
What's wrong with this country?
Well, why don't you tell me? Because maybe I can open my eyes to how you see.
Maybe. How old are you?
It doesn't matter.
He said maybe I can open my eyes to it.
First
Why?
Facts.
Well, your perspective and it could lead to facts.
Yeah, my perspective or the truth that you don't see is too.
Oh, we're not perfect.
If Dima hadn't always had these thoughts, then there must have been something going on in 2023 to make him feel this way. Despite their best efforts, investigators realize they're getting nowhere with this interview. Dima is dismissive and combative, calling into question why he's being interrogated in the first place.
I can't believe I used
Investigators
this
tell
much
Dima
yarn
they
on the
know
waistline.
he
That's
stabbed his
insane.
adoptive parents. They just want to know why, and the answer shocks them.
So your dad starts getting up out of bed.
No, he wasn't. He was sleeping.
Okay. And you stabbed him.
Yep.
Do you remember how many times?
Countless.
I'm sorry?
Countless.
Countless times? Did he ever get out of bed?
Yeah.
And then what? Did you push him against the wall? Or did he fall?
Just bleeding out. Going around the house. Trying to fight me back.
Okay. Did you stab him out in the living room or leaving out of the bedroom?
Yep.
Where was your mom at?
Going around the neighborhood asking for help.
Was she on her phone?
Possibly. Some called the police.
Did she hit you or anything or try to fight you off or?
She said she's a woman. What do you think she's gonna do?
I can tell you that if probably most women will either run or they're going to fight back.
Try to fight back, but there's not much she can do.
Right. So did she try to fight you back?
Okay.
And then did you stab her?
You already know I stabbed both of them. Like, what are you asking me questions that are obvious? Questions that you already know.
I don't know for sure what happened in there.
Well, you know that I stabbed both of them. Like, you're asking me, did I stab her? You know I did.
I mean, a lot of things could happen in there. I don't know.
What happened when she ran out? Did she go out the front door?
Yep.
Did you close the door behind her, or did you?
I told her to get back inside.
And she kept going?
No, she went back inside.
At one point, didn't she go to the neighbors?
Yeah, that's when she ran out. Sound cold?
Where was your dad at that point?
Dead.
Where at?
On the living room floor.
Did he fall into the couch a couple times or no?
Possibly. Yeah, I think he did. Can't remember.
While Dima's admission of guilt is exactly what they're looking for, still, it doesn't help the police understand why. During the interview, Dima comes off as cold and detached. He has no issue with admitting the crimes, but refuses to tell the investigators why. Robbie and Jennifer's last moments on Earth were truly terrifying. As the couple slept, Dima crept up on them.
This much yarn?
Dima admits
This
to
is a
police
lot
that
of
he first
yarn.
attacked his father because he knew he needed to disarm him. As Dima is beginning to feel more comfortable, more information about
somebody with a
things
little
and
bit
how
of
he
a
sees the world
waistline,
begins
little
to
bit of
slip
a
out,
long
offering a disturbing glimpse into his mind.
Did your adopted family love you? Like, did it seem like it? Or?
Yeah, they love me, but at the same time, like,
At the same time,
it was not always about my family. It was like controlling it.
Them controlling you, or
Sometimes.
how so? Like physically, or
No.
mentally, or
Like,
telling you what you can and can't do, or
like, who's the household of the house? Who's the household in the house?
The dad.
I mean,
The man is,
yeah,
right?
it's different than whoever you ask. You know,
Well, it's different way we ask because this country's so fucked up, but the answer is man. And my mom and my adopted mom was, sometimes act like she's the household because the
Head of the household.
head of the household.
Yeah.
Whatever, like.
I mean, sometimes women, they feel like.
Yeah, I know.
So did dad set you off?
No, it was just like I was just telling you, there's many reasons.
Yeah, it just.
That's just one of the reasons.
You said you used people.
Yeah, because there's not that many good people around, so I don't care.
Were your parents good? Did they hurt you?
It's complicated, like you said. I don't know why you're asking all these questions.
Well, because, we have a job to do, so we're trying to see what your side of the story is.
Dima's answers begin to paint a more clear picture for the investigators. The couple had never been physically abusive towards their adoptive son. Dima had even admitted as such, but he felt like they were trying to control him. It is clear that Dima is angry about being moved from the Ukraine to the U.S., but it is important to note that Dima had full control over the adoption. After meeting the couple twice, he had the final say on whether or not he wanted to be adopted by them.
Never really wear it. Someone else will love them unvinted. Just snap a pic, list your item. Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping. And with 0 selling fees, you keep every dollar. Sell what you don't wear. Earn cash to upgrade your style. With millions of users and low costs for your buyers, it's easy to start selling and earning. Start selling unvinted today.
What do you think? 'Cause you and I together.
That's right.
Everything.
This is where we belong. This is where we belong.
Who's ready to ride?
This is where we belong. This is where we belong. Found a little home, a place to roam. We all can fade in time. Caught a leaf from summer's teeth in the river neath the pines. 'Cause tomorrow's just the name for the memories we can make, and that's alright. Your hand in mine. In the morning light will still be destiny. You and I can conquer.
Come on,
any
Dad.
day. This
Let's
is
go.
where we belong. This is where we belong. By them. So why the anger?
What was the reason to kill your parents?
There's many reasons.
Give us one reason.
I don't like him.
What did they do to make you not like them? I don't know. You know, I'm asking. I don't live your life. You know, I don't live with you guys. So
I mean, yeah. Everyone's gonna tell you that. Well, yeah, in America, yeah, you get whatever you want. You know, life's easy, but I don't see it like that. It's like,
Have to do this very uniquely because I wanted to have a V.
I'm basically a nobody coming from nowhere. You know, I was in the point of starvation when I was a little kid, so.
that's it. That one of your parents adopted you.
No, that was my biological mother was a long time ago. Just
Okay.
what I'm basically saying is the way I see things is not blending out with. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you that I try to control my parents. That's not what it is. I'm not that fucked up in the head, you know. But it's just my adopted parents really never taught me anything there. You know.
Did he ever taught you anything? You said.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I'm like a self-learner, you know. Like I basically tell myself like what to do or not to do, and like when I first came to this country, I was like, you know, I didn't like the way I was treated, and you know, yeah, I misbehave a lot, but it has nothing to do. After I got older,
This is a new style I'm working on, so hopefully it will.
the reason is stupid.
Well, it's not stupid to you, though.
It is. Why would I say it's stupid if it wasn't stupid to me?
Well,
The reason that I killed him is stupid.
yeah.
During one part of the interview, Dima dropped a bombshell that told investigators a lot about his motive. Robbie and Dima had not seen eye to eye for a long time, and there was one instance where Robbie had called the police on his son.
What was the most recent time that your parents called the police on you?
Well, when I first came back from West Virginia, my dad said he was going to call police on me. When I tried to talk to him for the first time after came back, he said he was going to try to call police if I don't leave. No, that's pretty dumb.
He didn't want you back.
Kind of not.
What's that?
Kind of not. You don't call police in a family disagreement. You know, that's just a stupid thing to do.
So they called the police on you?
Yeah, because they couldn't get me to talk to them, or they couldn't get me to act a certain way. They have to call police. Like that's not what you should be doing.
Hey.
What does police have to do with family?
Jennifer and Robbie's relationship was not all it seemed to be, according to Dima. The couple fought regularly, mostly about him. According to Dima, Robbie never wanted to adopt in the first place, but Jennifer insisted. When Dima arrived in the United States, his behavior, due to his past experiences, caused friction within the marriage. On one occasion, Robbie had insinuated that Dima was making his marriage and life a living hell. It appears that years living under the tower's roof had finally caught up to Dima, and his adoptive parents had bore the brunt of his explosive rage. Despite dodging many questions, Dima is very forthcoming with details of the brutality he inflicted on his parents, telling investigators he purposefully waited to kill his mother so he could deliver his final message.
So did you stab her already at that time? At that point?
After I finished saying what I had to say.
What's that?
After I finished saying what I had to say.
And you were talking to her, and
Yeah.
what was she saying back?
Pretty much nothing.
She wasn't crying, pleading for her life or anything.
She was.
She was. So you stabbed her in the throat? Was that the last time you stabbed her? Or you kept stabbing her?
Kept stabbing.
At one point, did you go get the other knife?
When I lost the first one.
Was that on your father?
Yep.
After over 4 hours in the interrogation room, investigators conclude their talk with Dima. During these 4 hours, Dima showed that he was cold and calculating, and the attack on his parents had not been random at all. He had planned to kill them on that night, one way or another. In his mind, they weren't his parents or good people, and there was only one way out of this situation. Following his interview, Dima would be sent to the local jail to await his trial, which would be full of twists and turns. In late 2025, a jury was put together and the state of Florida versus Dima James Tower would finally begin. During cross-examination, the prosecution grilled Dima, prompting several emotional outbursts. During one question, Dima was asked what he was thinking when he stabbed his father. His answer sent a chill across the silent courtroom.
Okay, what were you thinking about between the first stab and the second stab?
Okay, I am way more satisfied with how it's coming out. Here it is. It's a V shape instead of that square shape so that it is going to be hugging my hips like this. So that's where we are at right now. And then this will fit my hips. Maybe this is a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go around and then probably bring it back up a little bit, especially on that side. Back side right there. Ooh, I'm really excited to see it.
There's nothing to think.
Nothing to think.
What am I supposed to think? That
Listen to me. You don't. There was nothing to think. That's your answer. All right.
these people are not my parents. There's a lot went on that changed our relationship.
That's not my question. My question is, are you telling this jury that you won't even look in the eye that the people who brought you over here and gave you a home?
Oh, gosh. Here comes the American hero story of every person who's adopted somebody. They took you from your country and they brought you here and they gave you a home. Yeah, and then they get a crap ton of money for it. Do you not know, like, it's so, yeah, Dima, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Carry the knife with you to lead Jennifer back in.
I did.
You did or did not? I can't understand.
I said I did.
You did. You took the knife with you to go out and find the person that adopted you.
The person that adopted you and gathered you alive.
Temporarily insane.
More of these people in these other countries where these children are getting adopted, these people are coming into their countries and making it a havoc for the people in the country. And then they get to say, I'm such a great American. It's so amazing.
I just wanted the court to know that
children in
Dima
countries
didn't
that
just...
I go to and destroy their country, and then I bring them to that country and my country, and I never give them any kind of
just kill Robbie and Jennifer.
like I never plan on bringing them back to that country to see or do anything. I just come here for the money.
And there isn't a person over there that doesn't hate him. And we want him to suffer. And I just like one more thing to say. I have a lot of things to say, but you probably wouldn't like it. I want him to, when he's Dima, look at me.
No, sir. You go ahead and direct your comments to me, okay?
I would like him to change his name while he's in jail. I don't want him to use my name anymore.
Despite Dima's
there it goes. There it goes.
Not to pursue an
I
insanity
didn't really
plea,
actually love
and it
him.
does not appear that he was psychologically evaluated. At trial, a medical examiner testified that the couple had been stabbed at least 140 times and that Jennifer's throat had been punctured with the knife. After weeks of horrific evidence, the jury was sent away to make their final decision.
Okay.
In November 2025, the jury reconvened and were ready to hand down their verdict on 2 counts of first-degree murder. Guilty on both counts, the judge, Thomas Krug, ordered Dima Tower to serve 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole. We extend our deepest condolences to their families.
Too soft. Too strong. There. Perfectly balanced.
I'm happy. How many do I have on my wrist? Right here. So this is what it's looking like. Bam! See? Has a crotch and everything. It's what we needed. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to count how many I have when I get here. How many stitches I have? Oh, let me get another case on going.
All right. You nervous?
Cops have no idea.
I'm not here with Miss Cassandra.
Officers have just arrived at the getaway motel of 28-year-old Cassandra Douglas. For the last 24 hours, she and her brother have been alone.
Yes, I love it when the victims still live. This one, his killer doesn't realize his victim is still breathing. I love it when the victim is still alive.
Before this interrogation, Brian and his girlfriend left 2 people for dead, hoping that their corpses would be buried along with their victims. And right now, with one of them still left breathing, everything has changed.
Well, let me guess. Said that we done it. We're not going to see daylight here.
And faced with his surviving victim's words, Brian knows he has no way out. But through his lies and desperation, he will try his best to walk out of this very room on his own terms.
I mean, it stands right now with just them 2 saying that shit. Y'all got enough evidence. You said that before I can ask you a question.
Jennifer Kane of Louisville, Kentucky, was a mother of 2 children and had been struggling with addiction for some time. She hoped her new job would be a turning point in her life. Her first shift was set for May 13th, 2016. Alas, she never arrived. A friend visited her apartment and stepped inside after discovering the door was already unlocked. And what she said was too shocking for words. Jennifer had been shot multiple times and had unfortunately passed away. Lying next to her was her boyfriend, Daryl Wilson, who had also suffered a gunshot to the head. Amazingly, he was still alive. Once he was rushed to the hospital, law enforcement paid a visit to their neighbors, 39-year-old Brian Greenwell and 37-year-old Jody Cecil, only to discover something very suspicious. The apartment had been cleared out, and its tenants were gone. Once Daryl recovered, he told the authorities in an interview that the person who shot him was none other than Brian. Brian had already been taken into custody for an unrelated charge. He did not realize that his neighbor and victim was alive and had accused him in a recorded interview. But he's about to find out soon enough.
I have a recording. I also have another recording that I'd like you to view as well. But I can't ask you any questions yet because you're in custody for something else. I don't know. I know there's some kind of dope charge and stuff there.
Okay.
Before I actually ask you anything or tell you or show you anything, I need to read your rights. You did those before, correct? No. You've never had your rights read? No.
I'm boiling. I'm hot.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I
Oh, I can feel all the heat coming up. I'm so hot, but I know that once I take off my sweater, because I'm only wearing a chemisette underneath, I'm gonna get cold.
Strength to look at his own children in the photograph. It was a clever move by the detective, as now they know that they might be able to reason with him on an emotional level in order to extract the confession.
I'm guessing you might have an idea of what you don't have an idea of what you might want to talk to me about, or what I want to talk to you about. It has to do with the apartment you guys used to live over on Shelby Street. Oh, well, yeah. Does that ring a bell? That incident? Okay. What do you know about that incident?
As far as I know, they was supposed to have been us, as far as my understanding. Because the guy, Terry Payne, that he was supposed to send somebody over there to talk to us or something like that. I don't know. Because they used to have dealings. Well, I mean, I know the guy too, you know. They used to have dealings with something like that. I'm not even sure if it's him, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going by what I've heard. That
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards because we've printed them for millions of small businesses over the past 25 years. But we also print signs, stickers, shirts, and more. If you need it, we print it. Print it all with 20% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
If you've ever missed a pill, you're not alone. Life's busy, and remembering to take birth control pills every single day isn't always realistic. Torla is a birth control patch you change once a week. 3 weeks on, 1 week off. No daily reminders, no devices. Torla offers a once-a-week option that frees you from daily pill reminders without requiring any procedures or long-term commitments to
If you
begin
do
or
not have
end your
sex, you
birth
don't have
control
to take
journey.
birth control.
Torla is designed to move with you. Its soft woven fabric and skin fusion technology contour to your body,
You have to
helping it
ruin
stay
your
in place.
pH balance.
In a year-long study, about 95% of Torla patches stayed in place.
Ooh,
Be sure to check the
I'm
patch
more
each
satisfied
day,
now. You
especially
see?
after showering.
See how it
To help
goes?
it stay
Like
put,
a V.
avoid
This
water
is
exposure
great.
longer
This
than
makes
30
me
minutes.
satisfied.
And avoid
Once
using
I
excess
end
lotion
with
or
this
oil near
green,
the
then I will
application
count
site.
it to see,
And
because
if you do lose one,
my
we've got your
waistline
back with the Twirla
is
patch
like
replacement program.
31. When I
Twirla is a
count
birth
like 2
control patch
stitches
for
wise,
women with
I
a
found to
BMI
make
of
me a
less than
skirt.
30
It's
kilograms
like
per meter
31.
squared who can become pregnant. Twirla is less
And then I
effective
got
in
that
women with a
bacchus.
BMI of 25 or more. Do not use Twirla if you smoke cigarettes and are over 35
Why?
years old.
La villa show, mon
Smoking-
Shirley, show.
he got ripped
Yes,
off a few
yeah.
times.
You
He
keep
got upset about it.
napping.
The only reason why he wouldn't come confront her by herself, you know what I'm saying, because of me. Well, she never ripped him off for no dope anyways. It wasn't her. You know, it was.
So it was geared towards Japanese, what you're telling me.
Yes. And as far as I know, that somebody was supposed to send some people from Chicago to black dudes. Said it's not about the money now, it's not about the dope, it's about the principle.
Always some black dudes.
And Terry Payne told me this, and I told him, I said,
In a lot of people's eyes, they say black
You're right,
people
it's
look
not
alike,
about no
Asian
race,
people
not
look
about no
alike,
person.
none of people look alike.
My fiance that pulls me, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
See how the back is coming? It's giving me that little
And he
back
said,
part.
"Look,
That's what I
sorry,
wanted.
too
And the
late,
front is like this.
the call's
So
been
I
made.
am going to
And,
make the front one more close. I'm going to close one more out of it so that
New Orleans or something like that. Louisiana's up here looking for her. And that's when I noticed that
there we go. I'm going to close
she
it right
started
here.
being followed.
And then,
And I'm
there we
like,
go.
hold up, you know, maybe this shit's true. But I'm thinking it's all, you know how people talk and just try to scare somebody. And I kept noticing people follow me, and I kept noticing people follow me, and I'm like, oh, you know. So I made a phone call, and I was like, dude, what's going on? He said, man, I told you. He said, I'll try to go talk to him. I said, dude, you better do more and try to go talk to him. And for the past, I don't know, month and a half, something like that, every time I walked out the door, I was being followed.
Yeah, perfect.
And for the life of me, nobody believed me. I mean, I told everybody, I said, man, somebody is following us.
Now I'm getting that V. You'll see the V. You see how this pattern goes down and this pattern goes like this, like this.
Claims to have been followed by
That's
mysterious shady figures.
Look, now we have a back part because before it was just square. We're not gonna do square. There are box people, and I'm not one.
Possession of methamphetamine.
I'm not a box person.
And one of the side effects of this nasty substance is
now
paranoia.
I get to count
the
to see
only
how many
thing that Brian had to worry about was the police. They tried to pull him over, but were led on a high-speed chase. Obviously, that did not work out particularly well for him. Unsurprisingly, it seems he already has an excuse for trying to flee during the traffic stop.
I mean, not one time did nobody ever say police. Nobody said. I mean, the whole time that I told everybody I was being followed, I mean, I had people run up on me, like, I'd take off. Nobody ever said cops, you know. So I don't know if it's the cops or if it's them or whoever, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. So I've done what I know to do best, protect myself and get the hell out of that situation for a moment. With that situation, it was the same thing. 2 cars whipped up on me. Then once I took off, he had his lights. I'm like, you know, I got to set them lights, which I do. You know what I'm saying? I got a flashlight that turns. You know what I'm saying? You click it one time, it says there flashes red, white, and red, blue. Them lights, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so nobody's ever said stop police. This is the local, this is the feds, this is the whoever, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't stop. You know, even when we got back to the house we were staying at, not one time did anybody say police. It's police, it's the whoever, blah, blah. They just told me, I'm gonna blow my goddamn brains out.
Oh my gosh, am I even gonna be able to get some cheeks in there?
There's a chance I gotta take. Either they're the police, and then once they all started coming up on me, I noticed it was the police because I seen all the equipment and shit like that. And I was like, well, maybe it's this time. So I got him.
Then set.
Who all did you get arrested with? Me, Jody, Mama, and Chris. Does Lala have a real name? Everybody keeps saying Lala. I'm like, I don't know who she is. Because I'm not the dope police, but I'm just curious for my own. It's Lord.
Brian seems quite talkative right now. This is good, as the detective wants to make sure he feels comfortable enough to talk about the case at hand.
I just uploaded one selfie and got this. No studio, no makeup, no editing, just one photo. And suddenly, I have a full photo shoot. Like I hired a whole team. If your photos never look good enough, try this. Download Camera, pick a style, upload your selfie, and see what you actually look like at your best.
Whoa. Can I even get? Am I gonna get just one side in there?
And both Brian and Jody were arrested for drug possession.
Too tight.
While Jody received a trafficking charge alongside. It's entirely possible that they were both aware that the police were after them because of what Brian did the night prior. Still, he still doesn't realize the mountains of evidence that were already stacking up against him. But all of that will be brought into the light eventually.
Let me
take you back to that, Jody. How long did y'all stay there? Man,
as long as I can put it up my waist.
I don't know if she's had it before I went in, or right before I got out, or what I think. I was on there a couple weeks, maybe, something like that.
No!
Maybe a little longer.
It's too tight right here.
Between 2.
See?
2 weeks. 2
right there. I'm gonna have to get it. My thighs are too big. I'm gonna have to go.
And you guys never went back to that apartment? Yeah, we went back. You did? Yeah. We went back and got some of our stuff. I mean, we'd seen the landlord. Nothing was ever said. We'd seen cops sitting there. Nothing was ever said to us.
Okay.
So I was thinking, well.
So this is sick up there. I need to get at least like swash up stitches.
You ever saw them anymore?
So I must take this.
If I showed you a picture of them, would you know who they are? I'm pretty sure I would be. Yeah, I think, it was her.
So I gotta.
Now the guy,
Now this is a little bit older picture. I think he had probably just gotten out of jail.
You know what I could do right there is from there I could
if you put long
add
hair, looks like.
stitches around the waistline part right here.
Nah, other than I mean,
It's because it's so
the
tight
holidays or it was just I think it was what one,
right here.
two.
Look up there.
Yeah, it's just two.
Yeah.
Brian claims that he never interacted with his neighbors in the past and makes it seem like they were just a bunch of background characters in his life. But he admits that he heard what happened to them recently.
What do you actually know about what happened over there? What do you heard? What do you know?
9, 10, 11,
I just heard
12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
that
19,
shot.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141,
State was there for her. Hang out, you know what I'm saying?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I mean, hell, if somebody wanted to talk to her,
Second cut.
they plan or knew her phone number, knew her cell phone, knew her name, everything else, or wherever try to contact us. At least as far as I know, nobody ever tried to contact us. Which I mean, the house, the apartment wasn't even, it was her apartment. It wasn't in my name, that's my guess.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
And you know, there was two victims there.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 1
The lady.
The fact that Brian immediately thinks that Jody had confessed to the shootings of their neighbors is one hell of a slip-up. After all, no one has directly accused him or Jody to his face up to this point. In fact, the incident had remained under wraps for two whole months. Both Brian and Jody thought the victims were dead, all because of him. Yet, clueless Brian here is about to realize the truth, as the detective shows him footage of Daryl accusing his neighbor of this horrendous crime. And if watching a killer slowly realize the cops knew everything the whole time is satisfying to you, subscribe. It helps us massively.
This is what I want to show you.
Second set should be good. That should be a good waistline.
Do you remember
Yes.
your neighbors that lived next door?
Yep. Second set is good. Boom. Perfect. 57 stitches is perfect for my waistline.
Were your neighbors involved in any of this?
Perfect.
Recognize her? Is that Jody? Is that your neighbor?
Daryl was unable
Now I
to
can
talk to
crochet
the detectives
freely.
as he was left paralyzed from the attack. Although, he was able to get his point across by nodding, mouthing words, and blinking. Meanwhile, Brian couldn't help but stare at the footage like a child glued to a television. Despite the damning evidence on hand here, that's not going to stop him from trying to outsmart the detectives.
Hot take for all my bed-rotting girlies. If you're depressed and your house is always a mess, the support you need...
When I showed Jody this, she lost it. She lost it like ball and grand, broke down.
You let me guess. Said that we done it.
She didn't.
Well,
And before, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I told her. I said, you all have some important things in front of you. I said, bad things happen to good people. Sometimes people get put into situations and shit doesn't go as planned. I believe that's what happened here. I don't believe there was malicious intent going in. I think shit escalated and went bad. And I told her I wanted to help her try to get to the good side of this, to not paint her into a negative light on it. Fair enough. I mean, I've got a living victim who put you there. I've got Jody who said you were there. Now I want to hear from you what in the world happened. Like I said, I think something went wrong. I don't think you got there on.
I want to hear the rest of it, what Jody had to say.
What Jody had to say, I don't have Jody on video.
You said you had her on
I have her on audio recording. I just did it. I don't have it on a disc yet. I still have it on an actual recorder.
Can I hear it?
I don't know. Let me see if I can do that. I don't even know if I can do that. I mean, it's on this recorder that's in my pocket right now. The same one that I'm having on right now.
Well, let's find out if we can do it. Because, I mean...
Is that going to change what?
No, I mean, I want to know.
I'm not going to play bullshit. Yeah, I'm not going to play word for word so you can hear your story.
No, I don't.
I've been doing this a little while.
Yeah, I don't expect you to do that either. But I would like to know what she's saying, what she's.
I can give you the details of, I guess the general of what she said is that, and he goes on to say as well that they were involved in a domestic situation. They apparently, he might have been getting the best of her. She came over for help. You guys go back over to their apartment. It happened inside their apartment. He said you guys intervened honestly on the good side of this to start with, trying to help her out. And things went bad from there.
Brian is not as clever as he probably thinks he is. The detectives could see he was trying to ask for Jody's stories to steal answers from. Looks like he'll have to rely on his wits if he's going to explain his side of the story, starting with how his fingerprints ended up all around the victim's apartment.
Does that sound, is that a fair statement of how things may have occurred?
No, I mean,
it's not.
No, but I had no. Yeah, I know these people. I don't know them personally. You know, I know them from that apartment. And yes, we did go over there, but that's it. I mean, hell, is you fingerprint the place, you find my fingerprints on a couple of things. That's where I was walked in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of picked some stuff. You know, laying everywhere, so I was like, here. I mean, other than that.
I know right now you're trying to figure out where to go with this because I don't want you to start digging yourself a hole.
No, what y'all want me to do is commit, saying.
Oh, I don't need you. I don't need you to. I've got Jody's statement. I've got enough to walk out of this room right now. What I'm trying to do is give you an opportunity to do the same thing as she did, which is go at it at the angle we were trying to help and things went bad. It's a whole lot better than just not giving a statement and me going off of him. I mean, you think if I put a guy who's paralyzed from the neck down on a ventilator with an interview like this, up to 12 people on a jury, they're not going to sympathize with him instead of you? I'll take that all day long, twice on Sunday.
I
look at it too. I'm like, I mean, as it stands right now, I mean, regardless of what I say,
this
situation. I'm trying to say that there is a little bit of an out here to make it better on you, to not make it look like I don't believe you're a cold-blooded killer. No, I don't believe that at all. Nothing suggests that to me. I think you're a smart guy, and I think you got involved in a situation that you probably shouldn't have. Well, not to say you shouldn't, not that you shouldn't help somebody out, but I think shit went bad real quick. And I don't think anybody should be judged on just one thing alone. There's a whole series of events that happen here to get the
Sprint print everything to get your brand in front of your fans, like t-shirts, water bottles, and totes, so everyone can gift it, work in it, and take it. Whether it's one of a kind or one for your whole team, if you need it, we print it with 20% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
basically where we are right now.
También.
And I just want you to, think about a lot of different things. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you at one time. And I can't say I understand where you're at right now because I haven't been there, but I can empathize with you.
50, 51, 52,
I do, so.
53, 54, 55, 56, 57.
Maybe you do this every time.
I always try to protect everybody. Shut that recorder off and that's our next question. And
Oh yeah. Melody. Second.
So you're not being recorded, right?
I don't know about this room because this is a corrections room, so I'd have to say, I don't know.
What happens if I go it? I mean, because I know the story here. You know what I'm saying? I know the whole thing. What happened?
Now it's the detective's turn to lie. After he turns off the handheld recorder, he claims that he doesn't know if the room is being recorded. Of course, he does indeed know, but this is to maintain his trust with Brian here. He might be more forthcoming now that he has been tricked into thinking no one is recording him.
How can I get Jody off of all this?
I mean, I think she's the least culpable of anything that happened. I think she was just there, and what he says and what she says really jive in line with the support. They support each other in their statements, and see if we can work with that because the beginning part of it changes a lot. There's a difference between you going in and saying I'm going to kill somebody, and you going in. I'm trying to help somebody, and then shit goes bad. That's way different things there that we're talking about. One's a whole lot better than the other. I mean, the end result was that people lost their lives, yes, but it's a whole lot different when it comes to talking to juries, talking about charges, those type of things. That is a night and day situation.
Yeah, like you say, y'all can make me out to be. Wow. I mean, as it stands right now, with just them two saying that shit, y'all got enough evidence to back me on
And that's what I'm not going to bullshit you. I told you that. I said I got enough right now to walk out of the room. But that's not what I want to do because I believe in giving everybody a fair shot at this. I've been doing this 18 years. I don't bullshit when I talk to people. I don't play that whole mind game where I run around in circles and we talk for 6 hours. I tell you what I got. I tell you how good I'm not going to lie. If I got something to speak, I'm going to, be like, hey, this is what I got. Here's your chance. It's 50-50. This is not a 50-50 chance kind of thing right here. I'll tell you that. I mean, I think I know what you're trying to get out, and that's to me. You don't want anything to happen to Joby on this. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
And I really think that's going to depend on a lot about what we talk about, what you tell me on this. I think I can minimize her involvement. Well, I mean, she is there. I mean, have you ever heard about doing a bank robbery?
Yeah.
You're the robber. You go in and rob the store. I'm just the driver. We both get in a car chase and get caught down the way. You know what charge I get?
That's
You know what charge you get? It's a robbery.
Yeah.
I still get in robbery. I mean, she's there with you. So she is she is complicit in this. And not calling her, there was nothing done on her behalf to help or save or call or anything. So that's her little bit of a problem, but her involvement is minimal.
God, she did.
Tried to. What she tried to do?
Trying to help.
After they were shot? What did she do? minutes helps her.
Yep, it fits. I would just have to wiggle like a worm to put it on, and then it'll fit perfect. But I can keep going.
Brian really wants to help Jody out here. If he cooperates, maybe he could help get her off the hook. Well, that's what he thinks, at least. What he does not realize is that Jody already confessed to officers that she was not trying to help, as Brian implies. In fact, she admitted that they went to a casino for a handful of hours just to be somewhere, as she put it. Nonetheless, he continues to portray her as the innocent one in all of this.
So, I mean, I ain't gonna try hitting you with no. No, there's no aggravating circumstances.
Finding a therapist doesn't have to feel overwhelming or impossible. BetterHelp is designed to help you take that first step in minutes. Just fill out a simple questionnaire that can help us match you with a therapist who truly understands your needs. Most people are matched with a therapist within 48 hours of signing up. After that, you'll be ready to schedule your first session. Therapy is super personal, and we understand that it can take a few tries to find a therapist you really connect with. So if your first match doesn't feel quite right, you can always switch therapists anytime for no extra charge, just to make sure you find the...
We're gonna try to get this done as quick as possible. Yeah. So I'm be honest with you, I can't sit in that jail. I understand. Jody didn't have nothing to do with it. And she did try to get help in her. I mean, I tried, but she came over, she said, he's over beating him. So we walked over, we didn't even walk in the apartment at first. And I was like, you know, what's going on? Jody didn't even go over at first. She was like, we go over and see if you can just. I said, yeah, you know, so I walked over. Doug was over breaking shit, throwing shit, cussing her. All three of us were standing outside. The girl was standing outside, you know what I'm saying? I was like, look, leave or come over here or do something, you know what I'm saying? If you want to leave, go and call the cops. She went back inside, he grabbed hold of her or something like that, and that's, so he was like, you know, you gotta help her. Because I guess her conformity or something like that. So I walked in there and I separated from this and that, and that's when, to be honest with you, I can't even remember how the gun came into play for real. Well, we started kind of wrestling around and so that went off. And then it went off again. And that's, how many times do you think it went off? Honestly, man, I don't even know. I was I blacked out or something like that. I don't know, man. It's like, I'm guessing 2 or 3 times, something like that. I remember hearing 3 gunshots. Do you remember which one you shot first? No, honestly, I don't. I mean, I was just I freaked out. I was like, man, I'm over to help somebody. This shit happens. I think I know it went off once. I'm thinking she got hit first. I'm not for sure. And then me and him was still
struggling, and it went off again. I do remember it, and that's when he fell on the bed, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I went over. I didn't, like you said, it wasn't no intention of going over. Now it's intended or nothing like that.
Brian's story actually coincides with what Jody told the police, too. She also said that they tried to intervene in their neighbor's domestic dispute, which resulted in Brian and Daryl wrestling over a pistol. Investigators pieced together a much different story from the crime scene, though. Daryl was believed to have been shot from above, and then the gun was pressed against his head. As for Jennifer, the 3 bullets fired at her were from no less than 3 feet away. At least one of them was fired while she was lying on the carpet beside her bed. With these findings in mind, instead of challenging Brian's claims right away, the detective tries to squeeze out some more details from him.
You remember about what time? I know this happened on Friday the 13th is when we were there, and it was later in the afternoon when we got there. But when do you think this might have happened? Was it on that Friday? Because if I'm not mistaken, she was supposed to start that new job Friday morning at noon. Does that sound right? Do you know that? Jody knew that. That's why
I don't know. Okay. I mean, and after it was all done and everything, I might have heard Jody say something that she was supposed to start a job today or something like that. I was like, I don't know what do I do? I mean, we was both like, what do we do? Didn't either one of us know what to do. She was like, let's call the cops. Because like you said, we went over and intentions of helping, not hurting somebody, And Jody never entered the apartment whatsoever, as far as I know of.
She told me that she did. She said she didn't go into the room that you guys were in, which is the back bedroom. But she said she made it into a part of it. You said she tried to help him afterwards, so.
I mean, she was like,
it doesn't matter to me. If she came in, that's something underage. If she came in, that's fine. It's not, that doesn't get you in trouble. That makes you a normal human being that wants to come in and maybe try to help.
Yeah, I mean, we was both, you know what I'm saying? She was like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't know about Mr. Roboto. Domo. Mr. Roboto.
Well, actually, I was kind of like upstanding and I turned around and looked at her at the door and I was like, what do I do? You know, so I didn't know. And I still, to this day, I still can't tell you exactly from start to finish what happened. You know what I'm saying? I just know that I was the one standing in the room like both of them was laying there. Jody was like, are you checking them? Are they still breathing? Or they whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know. How do you check to see if somebody, I don't know, nobody's been in that situation. And I do know that I'm not for sure if the landlord called or if Jody called the landlord or what. I'm not for sure.
Normally, when someone is shot, people call the police or paramedics. Brian clearly did not do this, and neither did Jody. Portraying himself as a panicking idiot is an interesting tactic, but it's not convincing anyone.
What happened to the gun? What did you do with the gun?
Destroyed it. Melted it down.
You melted it down? How'd you do that? That takes a lot of heat.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, the gun didn't get melted down. It got took apart and the barrel that melted down. I was like, man, so I gave the gun back to the person that owns it, you know what I'm saying? He just lets me borrow it. And I can't tell you his name, man, 'cause I don't want to get to him.
So did you destroy it or did you give it back to the guy?
No, I took it apart. Most of it went back.
Well, I mean, don't bullshit me. I mean, that's not a big issue there. I'm trying. I mean, they honestly is. Well, yeah, I would like to recover it, but I just want to make sure you use it, toss it somewhere so the kid finds it. That's more what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I made sure that wasn't no kid or no innocent bystander or nothing like that was trying to pick it up. I mean,
Yeah. What model was it?
I might have to take it out again. Let's see. See, the waistline on this is getting a little bit small. Very small.
Taurus, I think, or
see. See.
Yeah, I think it was
Come
Taurus.
on, baby.
Taurus 40.
And you know, I know it's a 40, but I'm just curious.
I mean, honestly, I tried blocking it out, but
you keep watching it down now. And if you try to, it's going to eventually come back out and it's going to eat. I mean, I can tell how upset you are.
Come on.
Unless Brian has laser vision like Superman or access to a furnace, there's no way he could have melted a gun down in such short notice. In actuality, the murder weapon was later recovered from a pond in Jefferson Memorial Forest.
I know it's going to be able to fit because it gets bigger as I stretch.
Did you have the gun on you when you first went over there? Just
I just need to make sure it goes over my back.
I had it on me because the situation that everybody was saying that people was out looking for her and this and that. And I was like, I got to
it is going to fit. I just need to make sure it goes over my back.
I understand. I know this happened in the back bedroom. Were they fighting in the back bedroom and you got in the middle of it, or did you and him got in a fight in the back bedroom?
Yes, as long as I can get my hips over it. Then
we're talking about physical fight, not arguing.
Yeah, they were talking about
there's gonna be a tight squeeze, but it is gonna fit. Yeah, it is gonna have to. It is gonna fit.
That's when I went in there. Yeah, everything just happened so fast.
As long as it fits over here, and then we still got like half of bacchus to put in there, from here to here, and we'll be able to do it because all I have to do is just crochet. Yep.
She did try to
I'm happy.
help them. I mean,
If you didn't know, Clio is a cash advance app where you can get up to $250. I already know what you're thinking. What about my credit? Well, there is no credit checks with Clio. And even better, there's no interest. So for all you need is $75, you'll just have to pay $75 back. No minimum direct deposit needed, no pay stubs, no W-2 forms. And to top it all off, you get to choose the repayment date that works best for you. So if you're ready to stop ghosting those bills, do yourself a favor, download the Clio app, and immediately start sweating less.
See? Perfect. Because before it was looking a little small. That's one thing I love about crochet. It just stretches with the body. So this is perfect. All I have to do is keep crocheting.
I wanted results that looked like me. I still wanted to look like Claire, just with fewer lines. After my treatment, I saw one of my best friends, and she was like, "Something
this is half of my bacchus now."
And when I told her I got treated with Botox Cosmetic, she's like, "You still look like you, just with fewer lines."
Why?
Booking a Botox Cosmetic appointment for the first time, I was nervous that I might look overdone. I'm still the one and only Olivia, just with fewer lines. I'm happy that my results are natural.
I'm still the one and only Olivia, just with fewer lines. Girl, you just told us you didn't like yourself. Oh, pendeja.
Talk to your doctor about Botox Cosmetic and whether it's right for you. The effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours
All right,
to weeks
let's
after
do this
injection,
thing.
causing serious symptoms.
Now that I've checked.
Treated with the one and only Botox Cosmetic. Book a consultation today at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Because the more I wait, it'll stretch, and I'm not trying to have it.
I mean, I didn't know what to do.
Too stretched out.
I mean, I freaked out. I still freaked out.
No, Mr. Roboto.
Well, I'll tell you what, this whole situation, I mean, sucks. And I was right. It was not right from the minute I came in here and how things went down. And I still believe, bad shit happens to good people all the time. But this
Still charged.
series of events
Still charged, which is
doesn't paint you out to be a cold-blooded, calculated. I don't give. I mean, shit happens.
I'm gonna make these very loose right here.
But the way that we have presented
not
it,
tight, so that
as
it
you
will get
coming over
over.
to help, there's a big difference. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you see a big difference between somebody who doesn't give and coming over there and just shoot people, as opposed to someone who was there for a purpose, and I can confirm that purpose was there was a domestic fight going on, and you get over there and shit goes bad. There's a big difference there. Yeah, that's a big difference. But I didn't even. Should have just went with my gut and just stayed out of it. But I'm not that type of person. If I see somebody need help, I'm gonna try to help.
Brian's baffling lies could not save him. Ultimately, he was found guilty of murder, attempted murder, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and tampering with evidence. He received a life sentence. As for Jody, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison for complicity to murder and complicity to attempted murder. We hope you enjoyed this one. 80% of our viewers aren't subscribed yet. A subscription helps us more than you'd think. Subscribing is free, and it's the single biggest way you can support the channel. It's free, and it keeps videos exactly like this coming. If you're looking for more videos, check out one of the most gripping cases we've ever covered right here, or our newest upload right here.
Boat missing, husband arrested. Oh, yes! I love Surviving the Survivor.
She fell overboard, vanished into the sea.
Gotta make sure I like it. Give up my thumbs up.
Cause to arrest her husband, which they did. He says he's heartbroken, says currents carried his wife away, but her own daughter says there are many unanswered questions. And now the U.S. Coast Guard is conducting a criminal investigation of its own.
Welcome to the global phenomenon, Surviving the Survivor. Here's your host, Emmy Award-winning journalist, Joel Waldman.
What's up, SDS Nation? Welcome to Surviving the Survivor. This is the global phenomenon, bringing you the very best guests in all of true crime, with more than 50 countries represented in our tight-knit family of a community. Tonight, mystery still unfolding in paradise, not far from the paradise I live in Miami, is the Bahamas, where you have a missing wife, a husband who is now under arrest, and a story that, depending on who you're believing or listening to, is either a tragic accident or something far darker. Here to help us break this all down, and you were looking at Lynette and Brian Hooker right there, a family that has been sailing for a very long time. First up to the show today, you know him well. He is the famed Tallahassee criminal defense attorney, R, the letter R, Timothy Jansen, also OUR, also a former federal prosecutor. And Tim has actually studied up and worked on a case, the Shiver case, which is happening in Bahamas. So believe it or not, Tim knows some Bahamian law. Next, we've got retired Modesto police detective, retired homicide detective, John Bueller, who is welcome back to the show. Great to see him again. And same story here with Brian Fitzgibbons, returning for the second time. Brian is a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine, but he is the director of operations for USDA and specializes in finding missing persons. Tim, let me start with you on the legal side of this. Everything just changed in the last, 12 to 48 hours or so. When this guy, Brian Hooker, he's arrested because of probable cause. What is probable cause in the Bahamas? Is it different than probable cause here in the United States of America?
Well, it's a little different. And, when they keep saying he's been arrested, they don't say what he's been arrested for yet, right? Mm-hmm. He's arrested for her missing, not murder yet. They don't have a body yet. The laws are a little different there in the Bahamas, especially like the proving beyond a reasonable doubt and the jury, how many jurors need to convict. It's a lot different than it is here. You don't even have to have a unanimous jury in the Bahamas. And the jury selection, it's really weird. They pick the jury right at November and December, and then they publish all the persons who will be jurors for the whole year. So you'll know in November, December who the jurors are going to be, but you don't know which ones are going to be called that day. But it's different. And I did some research. I haven't had a chance to update it on this charge. The case I was working on was an attempted and conspiracy murder, not actual murder. So
Tim, is there a time period that we know of where they have to announce what he's being charged for? Are these considered formal charges? Do we know?
I don't know if they're not formal charges. I think they can detain him and arrest him under suspicion, and there's probably a time frame for which they have to go to a magistrate or a judge and present some paperwork, and then have a first appearance. But I'll do some research on that.
And you're going to hear on videotape, sure as the kids used to say, Warner Wolf in New York. Let's go to the videotape, a famous sports anchor. But we've got sound that you'll hear from the attorney and from a bunch of other people today. So stick on by. Law Girl gifting 10 Surviving the Survivor memberships. Thank you very much. Let me just go around the horn here to keep it easy. So, John, this is your world and Brian's world, albeit it's an island in the Caribbean. Let's go with this. You're hired. They say, hey, we need John Bueller's expertise here, and you land in the Bahamas where Brian.
Too soft. Too strong. There. Perfectly balanced. Dennis, it is almost Passover and Easter, and I, of course, have your explanation of the Passover Haggadah, which has been
Brian Hooker is. How do you start with this one? You've got a wife that's apparently out at sea, who's not been seen since Saturday night. Today is Thursday. You can do the math there, 5 days or so. How do you start with this?
Well, it's unlikely that you're going to have a body on this one. I mean, it'd be a great thing if you did. It'd be great if you could find her alive, but that much time at sea is really difficult. The thing about the area where Hopetown and Elbow Cay is, it's on the eastern side of the Bahamas there. You've got the Gulf Stream coming up, and you got tide changes and wind and things like that. They're going to have a big effect on where that body went to after she went overboard. But even before getting there, I would be doing bios on both of these people and seeing what's in their past. I know some of the stuff that I've already read shows that there was a domestic violence a couple of years ago between the two of them. Apparently, they've had some alcohol use issues and things like that in the past. A lot of people fall into that. No judgment there. But these are things that I'd want to know before I go over there, because if you end up having to interview the husband, you want to know these things before you even go in to chat with them. That's really the big thing for me when you're getting started in that. And, of course, talking to the locals and see what he has to say if he's willing to talk.
Yeah, and you're looking at a picture of 58-year-old Brian Hooker and his 55-year-old wife, Lynn Hooker. Their daughter, Carly, it's her daughter. biologically, and she's been quite vocal. We're going to have some sound from her as well, but you hear some photos of Lynette during some better times. Brian, just off the heels of what I was asking Tim about, some of the facts that we know right now is Bahamian police did take Brian Hooker into custody simply based on the probable cause that they have. And again, we don't know the official charge, just taken into custody as a quote-unquote suspect. The U.S. Coast Guard is conducting a criminal investigation. I know this gets into the intricacies of the law, but what do you think is going to happen here between the juxtaposition of the U.S. Coast Guard and Bahamian authorities? How does that intersect? And I can go to Tim for that as well.
Yeah, so having CGIS, which is the Coast Guard's investigative service, involved certainly ratchets up the intensity because you had a U.S. citizen involved in this. That's where their involvement, that's the nexus to their jumping in. And to piggyback on something John said, talking to the locals would be, if you hired USPA in this case, the Royal Bahamian Police Force is going to have possession of the yacht and the dinghy and any pieces of physical evidence that they can obtain from there. But from a private investigator standpoint, we're hearing quite a bit that these folks are going out to bars and restaurants very frequently. Right. So talking to these locals and anybody they're interacting with on a regular basis at these marinas to try to paint a picture of what their relationship was like, what was happening in that day that led to Lynette's disappearance, bartenders, waitresses, things like that, people they would have encountered.
Yeah, there was a joke. We're going to show that to you as well on social media. They have a YouTube. All their YouTube handles are the Sailing Hookers, because that's their last name, and it's got obviously a funny bent to it.
It would be
one of their
really
YouTube
great if they
videos very
fish.
recently,
If they were fishermen, it would be the Sailing Hookers.
Essentially joking about
really,
getting sick of her husband, and sometimes jokes run deep. I'll show you that in a few minutes. And it's important to note they're big time sailors. They've been sailing for years together, but they were not on their big sailboat. They were on a tiny little dinghy. We'll get into the details of that. She was ever in the boat. Did anyone see them prior to going overboard? Tim Jansen, if you're the attorney there and you're collecting evidence for a potential case, you want to know that, right? Do you agree with Brian here where you've got to really hone in on the locals there for information as to last seen, whereabouts, what they were doing, what the relationship was like, et cetera, et cetera?
So I did a lot of sailing, and I've been on dinghies with a lot of people, and we did it in the Virgin Islands. So what you do is the dinghy goes in because you're going to moor your boat outside, and then you take the little dinghy. These dinghies don't usually have life vests on them, right? You either put them on or you don't have them because you're only going a short distance into shore. So you normally go in and you have dinner and drinks. And then you probably leave after dinner. You don't usually go into dinner till it's dark or close to dark. So when they were leaving, it was more than likely going to be dark. It's always dark on those dinghies unless you have a light. And the key will be in whoever's driving the boat. That key has to be in the engine or near the engine for it to run. So if she was not driving the boat, she would have never had the key. That just doesn't make sense. And someone saw him that night. Investigators, they know how to do that. They probably paid by a credit card. Usually you don't take cash because you don't want to get it all wet. So they're going to know when and what time they left, what time they paid their bill, and witnesses will be able to track how much they had to drink, what their attitudes were. And I looked at that big sailboat. Mm-hmm. It's not a big sailboat. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy to get sick of someone in a tired, cramped space after you're drinking and arguing. It's hot and it's a sailboat. Doesn't look like, I don't know if it's got AC, but it can be miserable on certain days.
Sparkle is here to save the day and save you money. See, it's just right for everyday messes. That's great. Day saved, money saved, juice, not so much.
I had, you all, many revelations reading this book. The key question is not. Oh my gosh, we don't like that voice.
Interesting. Hobbit Ma here, gifting one Surviving the Survivor memberships. Thank you to long-time watcher here. I just got clicked off our Tiger Lily, but also twice hard. The details shouldn't be this unclear. Was she wearing a life jacket? Wasn't she? Nothing is straightforward. The story that is true, and this is not. I mean, totally different circumstances. But Tim was deep into the Shiver story, which was alleged murder for hire plot from a couple in Thomasville, Georgia. And there are a lot of answers they just couldn't get because Bahamian law and the way they conduct things is different. And by the way, I reached out to Brian Hooker's attorney. Have not heard back. I'm hoping that I do. I also reached out to Lynette's daughter and told her that we would know to help her. Maybe we can throw up that GoFundMe toward the end of the show, COE. But here, it's a confusing story. I have a very detailed timeline that I kind of want to go through after this. Let's watch the story as told by CBS News earlier today.
Was taken into custody last night in connection with the disappearance of Lynette Hooker. He claimed she fell overboard during a boat trip with him Saturday night. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides has more.
Little dingy sunset.
These are some of the videos that Lynette and Brian Hooker recently posted on social media of their boating adventures in the Bahamas.
Oh, that's a big one.
Saturday, Brian told police Lynette fell overboard from their 8-foot dinghy during a nighttime ride. Now Bahamian police say he is a suspect in her disappearance, telling Reuters they took the 59-year-old into custody Wednesday night for, quote, questioning based on some probable cause. It's unclear what charges he could be facing. Hooker told police Lynette had the keys to the boat when she fell in the water, causing the engine to shut off. He said he paddled the dinghy back to shore to get help, arriving hours later at 4 a.m.
Hours?
In a statement posted on social media before his arrest, Hooker wrote, "I am heartbroken over the recent boat accident in unpredictable seas and high winds that caused my beloved Lynette to fall from our small dinghy. Despite desperate attempts to reach her, the wind and currents drove us further apart. Our cameras captured police near the site where his sailboat is docked Wednesday.
They say there's a fair chance to get your side of the story.
We also tracked him down Tuesday, but he would not comment about the search for his wife."
Does it add up?
No, it does not. Why is she swimming away from the dinghy? Why isn't she coming back to be on it with him? Like, why didn't he stop and put the anchor out and look for her?
Lynette's daughter Carly told CBS News she doesn't believe Brian's story.
Their relationship has been a lot of fighting and drinking lately, so I'm just kind of questioning what actually went on in the dinghy.
Brian Fitzgibbons, I'll start with you. The end there, that last soundbite, very important. There's been a lot of fighting and drinking lately, and it sounds like her own biological daughter is not buying the story. While interviewing her, what else would you try to ascertain? How important is she to your case if you're called out there?
Yeah, so she provides a tremendous amount of background into their relationship and also some color to some of these domestic violence or alleged domestic violence incidents that had taken place between Brian and Lynette in years past. I know in another interview, she's also insinuated and or at least said that Lynette was planning on leaving him and that she had spoken to, I believe Lynette spoke to Lynette's mother about that. So, that's a treasure trove of information. The problem here is, right, it's going to be very difficult to obtain any physical evidence in this case, right, being that they're on a dinghy. Did this incident take place on the dinghy or on the yacht? To be determined.
Yeah, something doesn't smell right. John, obviously what you mentioned earlier is incredibly important. And I have to say, I know this is going to come as a shock, but unlike Tim Jansen, I am not the yachting type, despite living here in the land of yachts in Miami. I don't like the water. It scares me. It's where the sharks live, and I don't like to go near it. And they try to scare the crap out of my kids, which is not good because they're growing up on the beach. However, John Bueller, to you, you hear in that story how he I don't want to say he creates the alibi, but he's the one that flags authorities to the quote unquote unpredictable seas. Now, I imagine through mapping and forecasting, they can go back and see exactly what was going on. John Bueller, what kind of person needs to be looking at that to figure out which way the currents were going, how quickly, and all these specifics that are really important to an investigation like this?
Well, any of the guys that are working on this, whether it's the locals or if the Coast Guard comes in on this, they're going to have the knowledge to look on the tides and the recorded tide charts and things like that, along with the currents. Windfinder is a pretty common app that most of us down here, at least on the Gulf Coast, we use when we're boating because you want to know what the wind's going to be doing. And you could look on Windfinder. I'm sure they've got a memory on that to show what the direction of the wind, what it was coming from. But even that story is just, it's hard for me to kind of buy that, where if she she falls over the boat backwards or something like that. I know it had been said that he threw her a life vest or something like that, a flotation device that was found like the next day. But how is she going to drift away from the dinghy any more than the dinghy is going to drift away from her? The current and the wind are going to work the same whether you're in the water or you're on the dinghy itself. So I'm a little bit skeptical of him trying to say that, she was pulled away from him and he was able to go in the opposite direction and paddle it ashore. Why not paddle to her instead of paddling ashore? Unless maybe you didn't want to paddle to her.
Tim Jansen, the COE was giving me the lowdown because she grew up on boats and grew up on a bicycle. Barely did that. But the green flotation device is what she is saying that you're looking at here is what was found. Just in general, from your boating experience, I mean, in the boating world, I assume people are strong swimmers, which is not matter if the current is crazy, but there's a real, if you can speak to sort of just the awareness and the safety awareness, and I see here from Wendy Klarman, she's saying advanced open water diver and boater. Like if I fell over, I'm dead. COE falls over. We were on a boat, I don't know, like a year ago with some friends, and it's hard to explain the strength of the tide. It was just ripping people from the boat like 5 football fields down, and the COE's like, I'll take the kid. I hope Carm's not listening, but somehow the kid survived. But Tim, how important is it, to just be aware of your surroundings, understand water safety? These seem like the type of people that would have known about this.
Well, one, think about it. He's sailing. He's a sailor. He has to know winds. It's not a motorboat. It's not some, tech guy from New York with this big yacht coming in on a dinghy and doesn't know the water. This guy is sailing around the world. If they're sailing, they're probably snorkeling. She probably knows how to swim pretty well. Mm-hmm. I was curious that they said that their boat was 2 miles away. Mm. That's an awful long way to moor to go in. I would never want to go 2 miles in a dinghy like that at night with wind. That's just crazy.
Yeah, give us an idea. What's like a typical distance? I saw that too. That's crazy.
You're talking about maybe 200 yards.
Yeah, that's
would be normal where you would moor. That's why they keep the moorings so you can get in and get out. 20%. 2 miles is way out there. And in that little dinghy, I don't think I would do that. Now, I have been on a dinghy. We get bigger dinghies where you got multiple people and you're huddled up and you're sitting there. So, but you do have some kind of device you can throw to the persons. And on another note, Joel, I did look up in the Bahamas, they can hold them for 48 hours without charging them before they go to a magistrate. Now, they can ask for an extension of time, but that's got to be approved. Okay, so they can hold them for 48 hours without filing any official charge.
It is. You see how the little tiny little waistline is?
Arrested last night, so we're talking Friday night will be that time. Nurse for God, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships.
So if you can see the dinghy here, this little red thing, I think that's the key because it's got a string to it, and you can attach it to you, and you can't start the boat without that key in.
And according to the story, she had the key. And she dropped the key, and then the engine, Brian was explaining this to me, basically shuts off. But, Tim, one quick question for you, then I'm going to head back to Brian here. Do you think it's
This is what we gotta breathe.
Is it like a holding strategy? Was the arrest a holding strategy essentially? For reference, though, first here from the COE, he swam 2 miles. The Olympic triathlon swim is literally just 1.5 miles. So he, according to him, he swam 2 miles.
Ted Kennedy, right? Chappaquiddick. Through that, but I can tell you that's not 2 miles. That's the shortest ferry there is between that island. I just don't believe the story. They did interview him for 3 hours, and these guys always think they're going to talk themselves out of an arrest, right? And I tell them, you're only going to talk yourself into a conviction, and that's what they end up doing. The officers are trained, they're smart, they know what questions to ask, they befriend them, they want to get them down there talking. He's already spoken. Now they got 48 hours to confront him with other things, and they can develop things, and they hope to break them, right? Or they hope to get witnesses that can, dispute his story. That's what they're holding him for.
Yeah, your fellow FSU kicker, his friend Blackwador from the Republic of Ireland is in the chat, lurking from bed, she says. What's up, Blackwador? Gia and TJ's mom, Brian, I don't know if my eyes are failing me, but is that a USMC, United States Marine Corps tattoo? Was he in the Marines? Does it look like a Marine Corps tattoo to you?
Yeah, I'm afraid it is, and I have heard reports that he was indeed in the Marine Corps.
This person, Truth Seeker, lives in Michigan. They're from the Grand Rapids area. Big news there. Yes, it is. And again, I did reach out to the daughter. So, Brian, let's start to, and with John's help here, let's start to deconstruct this timeline. So we have to go back to Saturday, April 4th. And not today, just for reference, is Thursday, April 9th. But it happens on Saturday, April 4th, 7:30 p.m. This apparently is confirmed that this couple... Brian, who's 59, I said 58, but 59, and Lynette, who is 55, they leave shore in a small dinghy, heading out to their main boat, I guess, from dinner. That is the last confirmed moment Lynette is alive and seen. Shortly after departure, this is like around the same time, basically, we're in the 7:30 to 8 o'clock hour. According to Brian, Lynette falls overboard. He says she is holding the key, and because of that, it triggers when she drops it, the engine stops. And he says, and I quote here, strong currents subsequently carried her away, and he loses sight of her. No exact time is given for the fall, no witnesses. That is essentially the entire timeline. Everything else, as you heard,
I've got butt cheek hanging out, but
up to him. Let's hold it there for now. There's really no eyewitness other than this guy after taking off on the dinghy at 7:30 on Saturday night, and today's Thursday. What do you do with that?
Okay. So
one thing about the timeline that I'll add.
I gotta go.
I think John touched on
this much
earlier.
more, and then it'll be Gucci.
The Coast Guard Investigative Service is going to have very detailed information about the tides, the currents at that time, the winds that align with this timeline. So his version of this story of these events is going to be dissected against that, right? So, this happened, 10, 20 minutes into the trip. Where could they have plausibly been? How fast can this motor go? How far could that dinghy get away from that the area that they ate dinner? And I'll add one other thing. It's very common for boaters, especially somebody who's living on a yacht, to have something like a Garmin InReach communication device.
Yeah. That's
now,
what
I don't know
thinking. How do
if you take that with them. I'm assuming if you're going to travel that far away from your yacht, it's going to be in your pocket. And that could have plotted his actual route in the dinghy as well.
This much more.
So there's a potential to obtain that as evidence.
By the way, in calm withdrawal, according to Nurse for God, she's coming back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Although I have to say, I'm always transparent. Carmen and I are brawling a bit. Once again, she's giving me a hard time that she doesn't have enough time to prepare for a topic. I told her that's why we call it news and not olds. And she usually gets, look at Carm in the chat right here. Any life insurance? John Bueller, good question from Carm. Still sharp. That is my mother, 86 years old. My co-host on Fridays. My biggest fan and also my biggest pain in the you-know-what. And that's why I call it Surviving the Survivor. Because every day, trust me, it is a battle for survival in my mind to somehow...
If you didn't know, Clio is a cash advance app where you can get up to $250. I already know what you're thinking. What about my credit? Well, there's no credit checks with Clio. And even better, there's no interest. So if all you need is $75, you'll just have to pay $75 back. No minimum direct deposit needed, no pay stubs, no W-2 forms. And to top it all off, you get to choose the repayment date that works best for you. So if you're ready to stop ghosting those bills, do yourself a favor, download the Clio app, and immediately start sweating less.
14 more rows? No, I don't think I'll do 14. I'm going to do 11.
I get ready. I'm in motion.
Okay. I think I'm going to end the live now because it's already been a long time, but this is the pants so far, and then I will wear the outfit tomorrow, and then I will share it, but this is the pants so far, and this is the top so far. So together, they look like this. All right. Appreciate. Thank you. I did the job that I needed to do. I did 3 parts.
Live up to Carm's expectations. But John, this is not a therapy session. This is a show about a missing mother, a missing wife. So, John Bueller, to you, again,